Welcome to New Independence Network. It's been a while. A lot of things have been happening. Sorry, I've been a little bit quiet as of late, but I'm back to handle the next big push, the next 30 days up until the election and hopefully beyond, and hopefully with a President Donald Trump, because Hillary would be an absolute disaster for this country. So here is the topic for today. How stupid do Democrats think women are? I mean, seriously, how, women, I need you to ask that question. How stupid do Democrats think you are? And are you that stupid? I know you're not, but you have to ask yourself that question. Am I that stupid? Are we as women collectively that stupid? No, what do you mean? Here's what I mean. Every year, every election, the Democrats are using you and playing a game. Every election, at least the last two. But if you go back to the last three, it's interesting. Let's do some historical breakdowns. Let's start with 2008. 2008, John McCain picked Sarah Palin to be his running mate. Now, regardless of what your feelings for Sarah Palin are or were, he picked Sarah Palin, who was someone to solidify the base, because John McCain was considered to be more of a rhino. Well, he is a rhino. He's a rhino, a Republican in name only. He was not a core guy. He was a fringe guy. And he aligned with Democrats more than he aligned with Republicans or conservatives, more particularly. So they picked Sarah Palin in there to solidify the base. Was it the best choice? Well, I think it was a desperation move for McCain, because he needed to do something to help his campaign. It was flagging quite a bit. They're up against the juggernaut Obama that the entire liberal propaganda media, the DNC propaganda media, were pushing, elevating him as the Messiah and handsome and suave. And basically they found their next black pawn that they could use. Now they used the people. Now they found a politician they could use to play off of the black vote, the minority vote. That's part of what Democrats do. Go back and listen to my videos, and you'll hear more about that from me, which we will discuss again, because it's still prevalent or relevant, and we will cover that in another video. But they picked Sarah Palin. Now, you have a woman who is the governor of Alaska, okay? She should have been just fine as a candidate, as a vice presidential candidate. They should be praising that if the Democrats were really in favor of women and strong women and elevating women to higher powers, they should have loved Sarah Palin. She should have been lauded and praised, but she wasn't. Look what they did to Sarah Palin. They mocked her. They played her off as many ways as they possibly could to be stupid, to be ditzy, to be redneck or backwoods. They played her off to be white trash. She had a daughter who got pregnant, so they played that off as if she was quote-unquote white trash. They picked on her clothing. They picked on her look. They picked on the way she spoke. I mean, even Obama, during his speech, even Obama said, when this is now in response, believe me, people say, oh, it was just accidental, Democrat. It was just accidental. No, it was totally planned. When Sarah Palin was doing her acceptance speech as the vice presidential nominee, she made a powerhouse speech, and she got the base really ginned up. She got the room really fired up. So she came out and she said, what's the difference? She was talking about her being a hockey mom and how she's tough and she doesn't put up with any nonsense, and hockey moms are tough, right? And she said, what's the difference between a pit bull and a hockey mom? She had a nice little pause. She said, lipstick. And the people went nuts, because it was a good line. It was delivered very strongly, and it really conveyed her as being a badass. It was cool. It was well done. I give her major points on that one. She did a wonderful job, right? Well, what does Obama come out and do? Oh, maybe a week later, maybe he's giving a speech, and he's talking about the Republican plan and how it's picking on it and whatever. And he says, if you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. And the crowd roars and there's laughter, and he has that little smile on his face. Yeah, he said it. So Obama basically called Sarah Palin a pig. Didn't come out and say Sarah Palin is a pig, but he implied that she was a pig. Did the media? Oh, no. He was just no. It wasn't meant to be that way. Oh, that was. And of course, everything Obama did in 2008 was just dismissed. It was like, oh, no. He's a golden boy. They did everything they possibly could to craft his image. 2008 election, for those of you who weren't old enough to vote and don't remember it too well, was totally crafted by the media. Totally 100% crafted by the media. Bottom line. Obama you were brainwashed into it. It was pure propaganda, pure DNC, Democrat National Committee propaganda to convince you to vote for a Democrat. That was all it was all about. Well, they're still trying to do it, folks. They're still trying to do it. Now, you have to go forward to 2012. Okay, now think about this. This is back to our main topic. Democrats think that women are stupid. They say, well, they're not going to remember 2008 when he said lipstick on a pig. Okay. So let's fast forward to 2012. Mitt Romney is running. Mitt Romney was in a debate. Okay? George Stephanopoulos was moderating this debate. Now, George Stephanopoulos, of course, worked in the Clinton war room. He was their press secretary, I believe, chief of staff, one of these things. And I think he was their chief of staff. And he's now working for ABC News. So you have an inside guy. You have a DNC operative who is pretending to be an unbiased journalist, which he cannot be. Never going to happen. But he's there, and he's now moderating a debate, which is about as stupid as Lester Holt moderating the last debate with Trump and Hillary. But Lester Holt's not as bad as Stephanopoulos because Stephanopoulos was part of the Clinton camp. He was there. He's an inside guy. Okay, so he's doing this debate with Romney and Obama. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't Romney and Obama. It was Romney. It was the Republican debate. And they asked Romney a question. So the Republican primary debate, and they asked Romney a question. Out of the blue, he came out and said, well, what do you say about states trying to prohibit birth control from women? And Romney looked like, he's like, what the? It's like somebody asked him, hey, why is there a lobster growing out of your head? He was like, what? Like, where the hell did that come from? Like, totally out of left field. He says, oh, by the way, much like Hillary throws in the Machado thing at the end of her last debate with Trump. Machado. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention that. So they wanted to get that out there. They had to get that out because, Holt wasn't able to drop the bomb on that one. So she had to drop the bomb to get it out there. Well, this is the same thing. Stephanopoulos was doing the job for Obama. And he went, birth control. Well, it wasn't even a topic. It wasn't even considered a topic. It was nothing on the landscape. The only thing there really wasn't anything. There wasn't really anything about that at all. Okay? He mentions it to Romney. Romney's like, it's up to the states, which is the right answer. It's up to the states. If the decision is the state's decision, the federal government doesn't get involved with that stuff, which is how it should be. But that's all they wanted to do. He kind of dodged, he kind of avoided the question, which he should have done because it was a ridiculous question. And it was out there. That was the point. It was out there. So now what happens? What's the topic of conversation? Exactly what the Democrats wanted. Women's birth control. Birth control for women. And then, of course, they had to spin that because Romney didn't come out right out and say, no, you can't have, states should not decide what to do with birth control. Because he didn't say that. No matter what he said, they would have wrecked him. It didn't matter what he said. That was one of those questions like when I was in the military, when the the drill sergeant would get in my face, says, "Do you like me?" And I'd say, uh-oh. What do you say? Yes, sir? Can't say yes, sir. Because if you say yes, sir, he'll say, "Do you want to be my boyfriend?" Or if you say no, sir, then you're dead. "You don't like me?" That's one of those questions. So what do you think about birth control, Mitt? What do you think about birth control? Should it be, what do you think about the states controlling birth control? If Mitt Romney said, well, no, then of course he's damned by the Republicans. We're like, what? Oh, and the liberals are going to go crazy and say, big government. He wants big government. I thought they were against big government. And of course your anti-big government right-wingers will lose their freaking mind, right? And if he says, but what he did say was like, it's up to the states to do, well, the Democrats go, oh, perfect. Because now they said that it's up for the states. Well, now he can say, look, he wants the states to decide. They want Republicans to take away your birth control. They want Republicans want to take away your birth control. That was the whole point of George Stephanopoulos making that point, that statement. Now, that's out there. And here comes Sandra Flock, who wants $3,000 a month, $3,000 a month to be able to have contraception, to afford contraception, which you can buy for what, like $17 at Walmart? I mean, it doesn't cost much to get contraception. It just doesn't. Hell, I could buy condoms for, what, a 3-pack of condoms is like $4? Something like that? I forget. It's cheap, right? Condoms are not very expensive. Females can get birth control too, and it's not very expensive. If they get it from Walmart, they can get it. Right? Maybe $30 a month tops, maybe. She wanted $3,000 a month, which it prompted me to say, what? How much sex are you having, dear, if you're going to be using $3,000 worth of condoms a month? Because you don't need to take a pill, the birth control pill, but once a month. So if you're needing $3,000, it's got to pay for a hell of a lot of condoms. So how much sex are you having? And I calculated it a long time ago. It ended up her having to have sex all but 2 hours of every day, something along those lines. She would have had to have sex constantly for all of 2 hours of every day. Hey, look, I can't speak for all the guys, but I've seen Sandra Flock. Sorry, I ain't going near it. But that's just me. That's my personal choice. Just my personal choice. Okay, go. Oh, he hates women. No, that's not it at all. She's just not my cup of tea. I don't find her attractive personally. But the fact of the matter is she comes out and says, I want $3,000 for birth control. Well, that's kind of slutty. I mean, to be honest with you, it's actually ridiculous. And it wasn't even a real committee. It was a fake staged congressional committee hearing where she did this. So the media, of course, they had her out there as her scapegoat, and she would go out there and have her little speeches, her rallies at parking lots of grocery stores where 6 people would show up to hear her speak. Literally 6 people showed up to hear her speak at one of her rallies. But they worked it. That became the war on women. The war on women. So we have Sarah Palin, who they attacked, and Obama basically implied she was a pig. And then they have the war on women 4 years later. So that's their next one. But you know why? Because they think women are stupid. They think that women don't have brains. That's the bottom line. Democrats think that women cannot think for themselves. They think that women are absolutely morons. Absolutely morons. They do. They think that women only vote with their emotions, not with their actions, not with their minds, not with any tangible thought. And they like to play those games. Like, you want to get birth. All they think is, if they're worried about so much about birth control and abortion, okay, and body image. Now, the new one's body image. That's the new thing now, right? But if they're worried about birth control and abortion, okay, that was in 2012. And commonly, abortion's like, across the board all the time. Then aren't they by default considering women to just be baby machines? They think about them as just sex objects. If they're only going to be having abortion or needing birth control, then they must be sex objects. They must only have sex. That must be their only purpose. According to Democrats, yes, it has to be. You got to think about it. Now let's fast forward to now. Okay, so the whole war on women thing ran its course. And they even went after Romney when he said he has binders full. Romney, poor choice of words, because they're gonna whatever he says. Again, he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Drill sergeant speak once again. When he was at the debate, he said, "I have binders of women that we consider for jobs." And of course, the media have binders of women, binders. They run with it. Binders of women, like I don't know, like he's some pimp or something. It was. And again, what does that do? That degrades women. That degrades women. If I said I had files of resumes and a lot of them are from women, then what does that do? Are they going to say that, why do you have women in a file? Or are they saying that women shouldn't apply to a job? Are you saying that women aren't smart enough to apply to a job, so I shouldn't keep them under consideration? Which is what Romney should have said. So why would you have a problem with that? If I have women under consideration and I file them in a binder, do you think women aren't qualified to work? Is that what so apparently the Democrats don't think women are qualified to work, but I do, because I hire them and I pay them well. I pay them more than Hillary Clinton pays her people, because he pays women 77 cents to every dollar that she pays a man. Just saying. 77 cents to every dollar Hillary Clinton pays women. Just letting you know. I went equal pay for equal work, right? Equal work for equal pay for women. She pays women 77 cents to every dollar she pays to a man. Just saying. Anyway, let's fast forward. Now we're talking with Hillary. Okay, so we have the female president. So they've already used the black and minorities, right? The blacks and minorities. They've already used them with Obama. That was their ploy. Let's get them. They'll buy into it because it's a black guy. They're going to vote for the black. They're going to vote for the black guy because, you know, those blacks are not very smart. Democrats saying this. They're not very smart. They're going to vote for the black guy. We got him. Well, they weren't right on the not smart part, but they were right on the voting part. And a lot of people were just lemmings, and 98% voted for Obama. 98% of the black population voted for Obama. That's pretty disgraceful. Think about that. That was a total racial vote across the board. Why can't you be proud of your race? Why? It's not a matter of not being proud of your race. It's about being smarter than the propaganda, educating yourself. I mean, there's people out there, look, there are people that are dumb, and they just believe everything the Democrats tell them, everything the media tells them. I don't even think you should believe everything the Republicans tell you, because they have an agenda too in a lot of cases. But the fact of the matter is that they're not using you for your race. But that's what Democrats do. Now they're using women for their gender. So now you have Hillary. We have a woman. And her only qualification, if you listen to all these speeches, is that she's a woman. You should vote for a woman. Madeleine Albright, right? Madeleine Albright comes out and she says, there should be a special place in hell for a man who doesn't vote for a man who doesn't vote, or a woman who doesn't vote for another woman. A special place in hell for a woman who doesn't vote for another woman. So you're trying to tell me that Hillary Clinton's only qualification, her main qualification, is that she is a female? That's her only qualification? That she has lady parts? That's it? That's it? That's all you've got, and that's all they've got. She's unqualified. I don't care if she was Secretary of State, because she was a disaster at her job. She is corrupt. She has broken the law innumerate times. She's a liar. She's been caught numerous times lying. She's unethical. She's deceitful. She's not very popular among the insiders. But they want the women to vote. So now they're going to play women for this election. Okay? 2016, they're going to play women. And what are they playing women with? They pick on Trump making a comment about someone before when he was a private citizen, and he said that she got fat. Well, when you own the Miss Universe pageant, and someone wins this, and she's supposed to represent your organization, and it's based on looks and body image primarily, right? Then she starts getting fat, then your job's going to look, you're putting on weight. That's it. I wouldn't call her Miss Piggy or whatever it was, if he even said it, because I never heard him say it. She just says he said it. Okay? She could say whatever. This Machado, who's a porn star pig, which she is a pig. She's a pig. She poses in Playboy. She's a porn star. She's a tramp. I'll come out and say that because I don't care. She's a tramp. So She comes out there and she just says, "Oh, he called me Miss Piggy." Well, did he? Do we have audio of that? Because if I don't have audio of it, then it didn't happen. I'm just saying, if I don't have audio, it didn't happen. So, because you got to prove that it did. But with Democrats, it's the seriousness of the charge. There's over the media, it's the seriousness of the charge. It doesn't matter if he didn't say it. We have to investigate because someone charged him with it. But when you charge Hillary Clinton with something or a Democrat with something, no one wants to, research that. No. We can't. We got to give them the benefit of the doubt that way. So that's where we're staying so far. We're at this point where you have Machado being used for body image. That's their game. He made a comment to her about her putting on weight, which he has every right to do because he's the boss and that's the pageant, and she's the pageant winner and she has to represent herself a certain way. So if you're on air on TV, if you're a model, if you're on a TV show and you're putting on a little bit of weight and you have to, if you're a Charlie's Angels or Baywatch, if those girls who are actors are in bikinis and whatever, and they're supposed to look a certain way, and that's where you make money and where they're getting paid to look a certain way. Same with a guy. If Chris Evans comes out as Captain America and he gets all fat, he's a fat Captain America, do you don't think that's going to be a problem? You don't think they'll walk up to him and say, "You got to lose weight, man"? I mean, it happens all the time. I was told in the military I had to lose weight. You got to lose weight. I was a big dude, right? I'm 6'4". I'm a big guy. Skinny doesn't work with me. But they told me I had to lose weight. They said, "You're too heavy." There was the words, "You're too heavy. You have to lose weight." That's what they said to me. Quote, "You're too heavy. You have to lose weight." Okay. But that's just the way it is. When you're in a certain job, living a certain lifestyle, where you have to convey a certain image, you have to maintain that image, especially if you're being paid for it. And she was being paid for it. Just because she won the pageant doesn't mean she can just start beefing up. Anyway, enough time on that piece of trash. But they've taken that and they've spun it into body image. Body image. Donald Trump hates women over body image. He hates women over body image because he's trying to protect his investment. But that's their new ploy. See, that's the thing. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to defend Trump. It's not my job to defend him. My job is to put down what the Democrats are doing, to call your attention to the idiocy. How stupid do they think women are? Now they think that women are only involved with what? They're only worried about what? Well, first they tried the equal pay thing, and then, of course, that nips them in the ass because Hillary Clinton pays her people, women in her office, 77 cents to every dollar that she pays men. So what do? They say, okay, let's go after body image. And women, let's go after their looks. Because once again, Democrats think that women are stupid. Donald Trump says a few insulting words to somebody in private, in public, as a public or a private figure, right? As a businessman. He may say some stuff to them, whatever. And whatever he said is what he said. What's done is done. Okay? He wasn't running for politics then. He didn't craft every word he had to say. He just said what he had to say. That's the way he was. That's life. Okay? So now they'll say, the ads, do you want a person like this? Do you want your daughters to see a person like this? Playing off of women who they think that girls are basically what it comes down to. If your daughters can't handle someone calling them names or saying harsh words to somebody else, then they think your daughters are cowards. They think your daughters are weak. And they think your daughters are all about their looks because they worry about body image and their weight. So they've established over the last two elections that women are about having sex and trying not to get pregnant, or having sex and having abortions. So basically all about having sex. And about body image. And that women are too cowardly because they can't handle an insult being thrown at them or hearing somebody being insulted. So they've conveyed women as sex objects and weak. Basically is what it's all about. This is what Democrats are doing. So my question, the initial question I had, and I'll repeat it again. Women, how dumb do Democrats think you are? For you to fall for this. To fall for it. It flabbergasts me. I don't think it's going to have any any bearing on the election, to be honest with you. I think it's grasping at straws. If Hillary had principles and ideas that were sound, then she wouldn't have to do this. But all she has is attacks. Weak, vain, futile attacks. She's flailing because she knows Trump's a real threat, a viable threat. But they're trying. They're trying to spin women. They're trying to turn you, and they're hoping. They're hoping. And the only women that are going to really get swayed by this are the weak. The only women that are swayed by this are the weak-minded women. The feminists, they're weak-minded. They say they're strong, but they're weak-minded. If they were really strong, they'd make do without having to have special treatment. The truth. Look at Condoleezza Rice. You know, what about her? She should be a hallmark of feminism. To the feminists, she should be an icon. But no, she can't because she's black and she's Republican, and they can't have that. Now, if she was a Democrat, they probably would love her. Look at her, isn't she great? But because she's a Republican, they can't have that. So they destroy Condoleezza Rice. They put her down. But her bona fides are huge. Tremendously huge. She's more qualified than Hillary Clinton 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. Seriously. She's so more qualified. And she's just teaching at Stanford. She's a professor out there right now. The woman's rock solid, man. And they put her down. They used to draw racist caricatures of her. Remember those? Racist cartoons of Condoleezza Rice? Oh, yeah. With the very over-exaggerated black features, real big lips and real wide nose and all that really horrible caricature drawing they used to do back in the old days. Well, guess what? They did it again with her, and no one said a word, not a peep. They just let it go. Because they think that Condoleezza Rice, because she's a Republican, is a liability in their eyes. In fact, she's an actual huge boon to feminism. And she's strong, but she's stronger than the actual feminists themselves because she did it herself. She worked her tail off. She got educated. And she succeeded based on her merits and her merits alone. Feminists, they have to have some kind of excuse because they don't think that they're strong enough to do it on their own. They're weak-minded. They're soft. They're cowardly. They can't get by. Condoleezza Rice is an attractive woman. You know, some might find her attractive, some might not. She's not empirically gorgeous, but she's attractive, right? But she didn't get there on her looks. So those who don't have the looks, though, they don't want to benefit. They don't want to build themselves up with education. They think they need a special handout. And Democrats love that. They love you to feel like you need something. Like you need something. That's what they want to do. So they think women are stupid. Just like they thought minorities were stupid, and they still do. They still do. That's what this Black Lives Matter is all about. They still think minorities are stupid. And that'll be another podcast, a little broadcast coming out here soon. I think how they think blacks are stupid, but I kind of covered that already. Minorities in general, they think they're stupid. So, women, again, how dumb do Democrats think you are? You're not that dumb. You're smarter than that. I mean, you've got to be smart enough to see through these platitudes, these empty debates. They're not discussing policy with you. They're not talking about economics with you. They're not talking about national security with you. They're not talking about any of that. They're talking about your looks. They're talking about how you feel. How does that make you feel? They're talking about you having sex, you having babies or not having babies. That's all they talk about. So keep that in mind. And with that, that's our next broadcast for New Independence Network. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back soon. Have a great day. God bless America.